Hello and welcome to the post-race press conference for the 2024 Diriyah E-Prix round 2 here in Diriyah, under the lights. Congratulations to our race winner, Jake Dennis from Andretti, and then we have Eric Vergne from DS Penske and Nick Cassidy from Jaguar TCS Racing. Jake, I'm going to start with you. A little, let's say, qualifying blip in Mexico, but today is the Jake Dennis, the champion that we saw last season, picking up from where he left off. A 13-second gap, which is the second largest win margin ever in FE, and you get the fastest lap.
Yeah, an incredible day. Qualifying was super good for us. We didn't expect to be on the second row, and the race we knew we would be strong, but not that strong to be honest. Yeah, just incredible performance by the team and myself to not do any mistakes, take a tap mode at the right point, and ultimately get the result we did. Yeah, once we sort of got into the lead, it was very much just be smart with the energy management, and then push when we needed to. And it seemed like every time we needed to push, we were extremely competitive and one of the fastest on the circuit. So yeah, quite an easy race towards the end. Just making sure I didn't make any mistakes was the biggest thing. But yeah, with 13-second margin, it was yeah, a nice, enjoyable final lap.
So just to go a bit deeper into how things played out, it was excellently played to make up those two positions, and then I get a bit of a question over that first use of attack mode, even the team saying now, you saying no. Was that the call that made the race possible?
Yeah, I think that one was the race. I think the call, what they told me to take, I think wouldn't have worked, and then I still would have been P3. So yeah, ultimately ignoring that and then going for another lap paid the difference, and yeah, I think they were happy for me to make that decision. You know, they generally always give me freedom on what to do in the race, and yeah, it paid dividends today. And to get the win for them is always special.
It has to be said as well, that, you know, a relative strong team effort as well, with Norman backing up the pack from behind. That's not necessarily a luxury you had too much last season. You know, that must be very welcome, especially with the ambition of the team's title.
Yeah, 100%. Having Norman up there helps. I mean, ultimately he didn't really do much today in terms of for me and him. You know, obviously he was running his own race. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get past set A at the start, which ultimately I think obviously made his life quite difficult from there on in. But I look forward to watching the race back. It seemed like there was a lot going on in the last 10 laps for Jev, Nick. Getting told Nick was 2% up on me was a surprise. Ultimately, I thought it was covered even if there was a safety car because the targets were so high. But yeah, obviously Nick had a great race coming through because yeah, it's really not easy to overtake around here with this current dust situation.
And just finally for you, first two race winners as last season, just in the opposite order. But something tells me that that's not going to be the case for the rest of the season.
I know, we tried something in Mexico, it didn't work, and we've gone back to what we know, and we're back at the top. So yeah, every bit of confidence behind me and the team to do it again for the remaining races. But just your first win of the season is always a special one. No matter where you are in the championship or anything like that, it's just so enjoyable to get that tick of a race win of the season.
Congratulations. Jeff, moving on to yourself, very strong today. You know, earlier in the day you equalled that pole record with Sebastian Remy, and then another textbook Jeff defensive masterclass. And also, you know, with that, DS showing that you are there to battle with the people you know that were at the top last season. Are you happy with the result today?
Yeah, usually I would be the first one extremely disappointed not to win a race having done the pole. But looking at the pace of you know, Jake and also the Jaguars around me, they were so strong, and I'm very glad to have kept the second position. It was not an easy race for us, that's for sure. But I'm also very glad of the improvement that we've made you know, within the team and also on the car, to be able to be where we are today, you know, in a position to fight with those guys. Okay, I haven't won, but you know, it's always. I mean, it's already much better than last year. Last year I finished, I don't know, like 12 and 18th. Qualifying, I remember starting from the back. So yeah, it's we've come a long way, but we still need you know, to find this edge to be able to beat those guys. But yeah, you know, I'm very proud of the team, of all the work that's been done, and we're gonna keep pushing, and I'm sure, you know, we still have a bit more pace to come.
Just to follow up, down on energy towards the end and having to work really hard to keep that position. kind of a similar story to the few races we saw last season. Do you think that's the case now with this season, or is that just reflective to this race specifically?
I don't know. I mean, at the beginning it was a huge fight to. It was basically flat out laps until everybody took their attack modes, and yeah, probably overconsumed a bit to try and keep the lead. But yeah, when Jake took the lead and he just had to, go full throttle, and the pace he had was enough to, for him to give him the gap to take the attack and not be threatened again.
Okay, so talking about attack mode, very crucial in this race, varying different strategies at play. Do you feel that your strategy with the team worked? And if not, is that what cost you the win?
No, I think the strategy worked. It was just a question of pure pace that we were lacking. I don't think if we had made any other strategy calls, we could have won the race. I mean, you finish with 13-second leads, it means something. So, yeah, I'm glad to be here. But yeah, we still have quite a bit of work to do if we want to win.
And of course, we go again tomorrow. Now, Nick, moving on to yourself. 2 races, 2 podiums. Not a bad start to season 10. Would all agree? Talk us through it.
Yeah, really happy with the start. I haven't started a season this well before, so it's really nice. Interesting race. I felt I had quite a good car. Jake and certainly in another league. Pascal as well behind me looked pretty quick. So for sure we got to keep working, but it's been a nice start points-wise.
You just said there, interesting race. I think interesting is the kind of perfect word from your point of view. Lots of team play, attack mode calls. You mentioned in your interview after the race that the team supported you well. Can you talk us through the movements and how it played out with yourself and Mitch in terms of the attack mode and the position swapping?
Well, I think we're driving for the same employer, and he wasn't my battle today. I had a really fast car, and I was just kind of saying, hey, let me use the pace. So yeah, I think everything went more or less well. I feel a bit sorry for him. I think he should be sitting here, not me. I was quite happy with 4th today.
So just because we didn't really get the chance to see it too well on the broadcast, from your point of view where you were driving, how did that last few corners play out?
It's not my battle. I don't think I should be commenting too much, but I'm sure Mitch will give you the story.
Now, attack mode, I just said to JF, it was very crucial and there was varying different strategies. It almost felt like there might be one strategy that would be the optimal one ahead of the race, but that really wasn't the case at all. Was that expected?
I don't know. Is tomorrow's race a lot longer or shorter? Yeah, shorter. Yeah, okay.
So with that in mind, how might that differ things now going to tomorrow?
Just got to qualify on pole.
Okay, well, just finally with you, before I open the questions up to the floor, we've seen this weekend especially how challenging this circuit is, yet we also watched you, Nick, doing strategy calls going down between 5 and 11, down crazy speeds. It's very impressive to see that, but does that mean that the race kind of didn't necessarily play out in the no one's going to be able to overtake, etc. way that people expected?
I got to be careful because I think it was lap 13, 14. I was talking through the snake and I hit the wall massively. I put the steering 45 degrees, I took off my front wing, and so I got pretty lucky today. So yeah, more hits than Elvis.